I'm going to do a better intro video, but this is going to be a test run of vlogging. If you don't know me, my name is Erin, and I'm 23 years old. I live in New York City, and I want to start vlogging my life for you all to kind of show you what it's like to live in New York, but also I think even just for myself to be able to document things that happen. And I think it's even motivating. Like, it makes me want to go out and do more things and really take advantage of life in New York if I'm accountable and I'm showing you guys stuff versus just like sitting around doing nothing, watching Netflix, right? So, or in my case, like Real Housewives. But yeah, I want to start taking you guys like through what it's like to live here, different things I'm doing. I do a lot of different things. I have a few different businesses, but I do have a full-time job that takes up most of my time, obviously. Working at, it's a kind of a blend between a nonprofit organization and a startup. It's called YTH, stands for Youth Tech and Health. And basically what we do is we design health technologies for young people. My role is specifically in communications and social media, so I'm doing a lot of marketing and copywriting and like campaign planning and outreach activities and creating promotional materials, doing analytics, stuff like that. I actually work remotely though. I am in New York and the rest of the team is actually in Oakland in California. So I work completely remotely, which also kind of adds an interesting layer, I think, to this because I don't go to an office, like a traditional office. I work remotely. So usually for me, that means working in coffee shops and things like that. I like to hop around and like try new places and just kind of be on the go. That's something I really love about the city. And I find it really hard to work from home for many reasons. A, I just think it's harder to kind of turn your brain into work mode when you're at home. And B, I don't never work from home, especially days that are meetings heavy. A lot of times I spend time at home. But the other thing is that, I live in an apartment that's certainly not very big with roommates. I don't have an office. I don't even have room for a desk in my bedroom. So it's very hard to focus if I'm like working in bed or something, unless I'm like working in the living room, or we do have an outside space that's nice to work in, but it's starting to get cold, so that's kind of quickly not becoming an option anymore. So typically I'm kind of on the go by taking you guys through the weekend. Right now it's Friday night. It's about 11 p.m. I believe, and I just got back home. I spent the day out and about. I was sick actually for most of this week, so today was my first I'm feeling better and I'm in that post-sick high kind of a day. So I went out, I coffee shopped for most of the day work-wise, and then I went to one of my favorite bookstores, Housing Works, which is in Soho. I highly recommend it. One of the reasons I love it so much is because they sell proofs. And I'm such a big reader. And when I say big reader, I mean I read like hundreds of books a year, actually. So it's very hard for me to find books that I haven't already read. And I love to read proofs because I definitely haven't read them because they're not out yet. And it lets me read books that are coming out before they're actually out. And it's a lot cheaper because all the proofs at Housing Works are $5, all of them, versus when the book comes out, it's going to be this book, for example, is going to be $27.95. So $5 versus $27.95. I think you can do the math there. So it's great for budget. It's great for just finding things that I haven't read. It also goes to a really good cause because Housing Works is run like a charity. I don't know if it's an official nonprofit, but they donate money and resources to people living with HIV. It's a really great organization. So that's also a plus. And the space in Soho is just so gorgeous and magical. So I went there and I got a bunch of new books, and I spent most of the night reading. And I went to Bryant Park and I did some reading there. And then when it got too cold, I decided to go to this coffee shop that's open late night called the Kona Coffee and Company, which is located in the Lower East Side, and kind of like the East Village, Lower East Side, and because they're open late, and they have one of my favorite hot teas, which is sage and peppermint. I don't know how much you guys care about this, but I just want to tell you, set the scene. It's Friday night, just got home. Nobody else is here right now. So I'm probably just gonna watch a few YouTube videos, like relax, take my makeup off, take a shower, and just kind of relax for the rest of the night before I go to bed. I'll probably go to bed probably somewhere around like 1, I'm guessing. That's pretty normal for me. And tomorrow, you know, we have a pretty open day. I'm planning probably to go to a boxing class at 3. Part of me is hesitant to go because like, I feel great, but I'm worried that if I push myself too much, like with sickness stuff, like I feel totally fine, but I'm just worried if I push myself too much, I'm gonna regret it. So there's that, and I haven't worked out in like a little over a week, so I just feel like this class is absolutely gonna kick my ass tomorrow. But it's not till 3, so we have some time to decide. But it's free, so I really feel like I should go. And then otherwise, I'm not totally sure what we're gonna do. It's a little bit open-ended. So we'll see. Anyway, love y'all. We'll see you probably tomorrow. Okay, so I wanted to do a little update. I had a little late night dinner. I made a salad. I have these really good black bean habanero pea crisps. And as you can see, now I'm doing a little bit of a face mask. This is actually my last application of this mask. I just ran out of it, which I'm going to show you. Digging it out of the garbage because I decided after I applied it that maybe I'll show you this. So this is the Boscia Luminizing Pink Mask. It says like I'm peeling myself. Again, it's a peel off mask. I actually got this at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, one of the two, for $12.99, and this retails for like $30. And they have a ton of them at every single one I've gone to. I'm in New York, obviously, so sometimes the selection of products varies depending on where you are, but I would say go and look for it if you want to. Try this. There's a good chance they'll have it. And I actually wanted this mask when this first came out last year, but I didn't want to spend $30 on it. And then I found it at Marshall's, and I was like, gotta get it. And it's really great. I love it. It's peel off. So you just peel it off, like there's no mask other than the peel. And it's like so satisfying to peel it. I don't honestly know if I've really seen skin benefits. I do feel like it takes out the like dirt and stuff, because it definitely makes my skin just feel kind of like empty of everything. So you definitely have to moisturize afterward, because it does dry your skin. And I would say if you have dry skin, this is not a good mask for you, because it definitely does kind of suck you out. And it's just so fun because it's pink, right? I feel like I look kind of crazy, but you can see how it's sort of drying and it will peel. It takes about 20 to 25 minutes, I would say, to dry. But yeah, I just want to show this to you. Now I'll show you Sherman, who is one of my roommate's cat, and he loves me. I call myself his stepmom. Isn't he so cute? Hi, Shermy. So, midnight, Friday night, living it up over here. Right, Sherman? Yes, right. Good morning. It is about 11 o'clock right now, and I've been up since like 9:30. And I wanted to show you guys, I just made a little breakfast for myself. I call this an avocado toasted bagel because it's a toasted jalapeno bagel with avocado. Doesn't that look so beautiful? Oh my gosh, it looks so good. So I'm going to dive into this, have my coffee, do a little reading, and then head out for the day. Hi, Sherman. Hey guys, what's up? It is currently 12:29, and I am sitting here in Domino Park, which I'm going to show you. I recently discovered Domino Park because it was closed down for a long time because they were renovating it, and apparently they opened it back up at the end of June. And I just discovered it last weekend, and I was so upset because I was like, of course I'm discovering it at the end of the summer, but this weekend it's actually warm enough to be outside. So I'm going to show you the view. It's really gorgeous underneath the Domino. I'm not exactly sure what these are, but it's Domino Sugar. This is the old Domino Sugar factory from like back in the day, and these are the things I think that they stored the sugar in, or like it was transported through, and they've been restored and painted this beautiful blue color. So I'm going to show you the park. All the way up here, and then there's Mason at the table, and then you can see the entire skyline of New York City, and the East River over there. It looks far away, but actually the East River is literally right there. And there's the entire Lower East Side. Gorgeous. And there's the Manhattan Bridge. So you're gonna go and sit over there. It's the scenery. It is kind of like being transported to another world, which I think is the cool thing about New York in general. You can kind of find something like this in the middle of the city, and there's just like so much to do, and just like so much, I'm not really thinking of it, but just like so much life, and there's so many crazy things like this where you wouldn't think this would be in the middle of a huge city, but it is, and it's pretty cool, I think. Hey you guys, it is about 7:30 right now. I feel like there's kind of a time lapse, but essentially I went to go eat at Honeygrow, which is one of my favorite places, which I'm sure you'll see at some point. And I spent a lot of time actually on the subway, but I was reading on the subway, so I sort of went like the long way and came back to Williamsburg. Went to a vintage store but didn't buy anything, more just looking at like inspiration, and then I went to this little health food store and got a couple of like snacks, and now I'm about to go back to the house. Alright y'all, it is 10:30. I got home maybe like an hour ago. I had some french fries, and now I'm going to the gym. I was actually just doing a little bit of computer work both at the coffee shop and at home, trying to work on a side business, which I have several of those. This one is for doing astrology readings, which I always feel really weird telling people because I feel like they're going to judge me, and it's, you know, kind of woo-woo and out there and all that stuff. And I don't even necessarily disagree. And I'm not saying, like, astrology is the end-all, be-all and, you know, nothing like that. But it's just fun, too. Like, I really enjoy doing it. And the people I work with get so much out of it. Honestly, like, so much of the reason that I've continued to do it is because people tell me how much it's changed their life and how much value they've gotten out of the stuff I was able to tell them. And I feel like I'm also just really good at it. So it's just kind of been like, why not do it? So I was working on putting together a landing page for this new offer I'm doing, where I'm doing a reading specifically geared towards your astrological elements, and like because you have more than one sign. You know, your sun sign's just like your basic what's your sign, but the birth chart tells you your moon sign and your rising, and you know, your Mercury, Venus placements, on and on. And I essentially am going to add up all the different element placements in your chart and then you really see a more accurate reflection of what elements are strong in you and what aren't. And so I'm putting together an offer for that. So I was doing that tonight, and it was good too, because I read some testimonials that a couple of girls who I did readings for sent to me, and it was just so nice to, just see like the impact and be like, oh yeah, I am good at this, and like what I'm doing is awesome, because people wouldn't be telling me this if it wasn't. They wouldn't be wasting their time writing a testimonial for me, and really great ones at that. And so it made me feel really good. But I'm just kind of at this point, maybe this is kind of coffee break with Danny style, who I mentioned earlier. She does these emo monologues in her vlogs where she just kind of rants about something, and I might do something like that in this one, because I'm going through this phase right now where I'm just feeling kind of stuck in a lot of different areas, and like, I can taste success, I can have wins. It's not like absolutely nothing is working for me. It's just, I feel like the momentum isn't there, and I'm like, no matter how much I try to make like really big strides and sort of get to the next level of my life, of my businesses, of my relationships, it seems like I plateau at a certain point and I get stuck. Sorry, that's a train. Outdoor train. And I'm not quite sure what to do about it. And I feel like I keep getting just sort of discouraged, and I'll get really anxious, and I just feel like something's missing. And like, I don't know exactly what it is, obviously, or else I would be able to figure these things out. But I want to really advance and constantly be in a state of growth. And I feel like with a lot of things right now, I'm not in that. And I just feel kind of stuck, and like I don't have that many options and choices. So that's kind of where I'm at. So those feelings are kind of brought up, but I decided to go to the gym, kind of in the realm also of our earlier discussion about not going to the boxing class today. So I wanted to still keep up my own fitness motivation and, just practice. And I think I'm just going to do a little bit of cardio, maybe a little strength training. It's probably not going to be anything too crazy, especially because it's 10:30. But I actually do some of my best training later at night. So I might do like 45 minutes of a workout before I kind of like detox and fully get ready for bed. So crazy Saturday night over here. Here's the gym. Back to go in. You guys, it's 11:30, and I thought I spent like 45 minutes in the gym, but I think it's actually more like an hour looking at the time. Whew. So I'm going to insert this picture I took of my elliptical. I did 30 minutes on the elliptical, and then I did a good, I guess, probably like 25 minutes of strength training. I thought it was like 15, but looking at the time, I think it was a little longer, which no complaints. But wow, even just after that, I feel so refreshed and so much better. Like my mood and everything I was telling you guys about how I feel stuck and just kind of discouraged. Even just that little hour in the gym makes me feel so much better and more confident. And I know how it works scientifically and biologically, but it's just amazing to see and feel those results and that difference. And I just feel like I need to remember every time I'm like, no, I'm not going to work out today. I have too much to do. I should do this. I just need to not listen to that and just do it anyway, because I'm going to feel so good after doing it. Whew, and it just helps everything else. So the long story, don't have a gym in my building anymore, but there's a Planet Fitness that's 24/7 that's literally a block over. So I just walked out of there when you guys saw me before, and now I'm at the front door basically, and I'm gonna go shower, and I don't know if I'm gonna go to bed yet, but in my hopes I will. This is huge. Look at how gorgeous. Okay guys, so I don't know if this is because it's just the store opening and it's like the honeymoon phase for the staff, but literally I was in there for probably not even 5 minutes, and more than 5 people asked me, do you need help? Do you want a basket? Do you need help finding anything? And I'm just like, that actually deters me from shopping somewhere, because I'm like, I just want to look. I just want to look at products. I certainly understand how to ask for help if I need it, as anyone does, and it just is annoying. And I'm sure everyone can probably relate to this, because when there's just nosy salespeople who won't leave you alone, or even realize that literally someone just came up and asked you the same question 30 seconds ago, it's just so annoying, and it just makes me want to get out of there, because I don't want to be bothered every 30 seconds when I'm trying to look at stuff. So we'll have to go back in like a month and see if it's still like that. But I was just so annoyed. And I was actually going to buy the Glow Recipe watermelon sheet mask, which I've done once before and I love it. But I was like, I just don't even want to be in this store anymore. Like, I'll go to a different Sephora. Like, literally, that's how badly I wanted to leave. So, yeah. Not excited about it, but you know, it might just be because they just opened 2 days ago and everybody's on their A game or whatever. So hopefully in a month everyone will just stop giving a fuck so I can actually like shop in there and not be bothered every 30 seconds. Hey guys, sorry I didn't vlog anymore today. I actually had a really interesting and good day after Sephora. I went into Manhattan after that, and ended up finding this really nice stoop and just sitting out and writing for a little bit. Then I went to lunch. I did some reading. I went to my boxing class at Shadowbox. Then after that, I did a little bit of shopping. Like, when I say little, I mean I got like one thing. Then I went to another coffee shop, and then I went to Target. Really, really fun, good day. Then it kind of went downhill, because this is part of the email monologue that I referenced, sort of, but sort of different. But dating is another area where I feel kind of stuck, and a lot of that's because I feel like it's really hard for me to break a lot of my old patterns and habits, and I know that I need to in order to have a successful relationship, and a healthy one. So I have a habit of dating unavailable people and attracting unavailable partners, and I tend to go for people who I sort of idolize and look at as being above me in some way, and those are the people I tend to be attracted to. And I'm trying to sort of understand, like, how do I feel that attraction and that spark, and how do I go for that but still sort of maintain good boundaries and learn my lessons about what I need from a partner, because I understand that I'm looking for certain qualities too because of like my relationship to my dad, which has always been pretty rocky. And I'm almost kind of looking for a father figure a lot of times in the men that I date. And I know that that's not good because that's not going to result in a romantic partnership that's like healthy and all that good stuff and functional. But my problem is that like a lot of psychologists and therapists will tell you to that the things you think are the spark and like that chemistry is actually just your issues and meshing with their issues, and it's not actually what you want to look for when you're evaluating someone to be a partner. And you have to sort of retrain your brain and your thought process to look for people that are healthy for you and that are desirable for what you want, and not just sort of go for like the rush of emotion, if that makes sense. And so I've been trying to figure out like, okay, how do I actually do that and make sure I'm attracted to them? Because I feel like everyone that I date who either seems healthy and normal or who is really interested in me, are not people that I'm really attracted to. Like, I just don't feel that attraction to them. But then I feel like when I do feel that attraction, it's the wrong guy, or it's the guy that's just pushing these certain psychological trigger buttons, and that's what's happening. It's not that they're actually right for me. And I've been kind of going through that in general and trying to figure out how do I like reprogram myself, but then also just kind of finding the same sort of pattern where it's like, there's tons and tons of guys who are interested in me and who I could be dating and who like me and whatever, but the amount of men that I'm interested in is very small. And when I do like someone, it's usually someone who's either unavailable in some way, like emotionally especially, or they are just not into me for whatever reason, or not that into me. And I've been kind of going through that with this guy, and I just had this really upsetting conversation with him. When you're like, I probably shouldn't talk to this person about this thing. I feel like it's going to make them upset, but it's just like bothering you so much that you're just like, I just have to talk to them about it, and then you do, and then you instantly regret it. That's kind of what happened to me tonight. It was over text though, but I was like literally crying because I wanted to actually go to the gym, as I did my boxing class earlier, but I wanted to do just a little light cardio session. And I was like standing outside the gym like crying because I was just so frustrated with this conversation. And it just went nowhere, and I don't know exactly what's going to happen. And I was also sort of wrestling with that of like, okay, do I completely just say no, he's not the guy for me? Because I did realize in that moment that I like I, I have all these feelings or whatever for him, but he's not actually somebody who's a good candidate for me as a partner, at least not right now. And I need to keep that in perspective, right? And um it doesn't mean I can never talk to him again. It doesn't even mean I couldn't potentially like have sex with them, or have some kind of relationship like that, because that's kind of, we haven't actually like gone that far, but that's kind of the road that we were going down. And because he's just super busy and is working like 90 hours a week, so I kind of had, so I was just kind of having an internal conversation with myself afterward of like, well, first, I just think he's not the kind of guy that I need, because I need someone that has certain qualities of empathy and that is patient with me and stuff. And because I'm super just emotional and anxious, and I just get really like riled up really easily, and I need someone that can kind of be like a calming force. And I know myself well enough to know that can kind of bring me down. And this guy is very similar to me in that aspect, where he gets very we go tit for tat. Like, we both are very aggressive and high strung, which I think also just kind of escalates any conflict that we have. And I just kind of realized, like, he's not, because of all that, like, he's not a good partner for me. Like, in that sense, like, he's not he's not going to give me the things that I need or the things that I want. And so I need to like realize that in this moment. And it doesn't mean, because I think too, I can a lot of times operate in extremes, where either like I'm totally into someone or they're just like out. If I, if they've like slighted me, I'm like, see you later. And I was like, I don't need to necessarily be like, I'm going to kick you to the curb and never talk to him again, but I just need to keep it in perspective of like, okay, this is not somebody that I'm going to be dating, but if I still want to be friends with him, be friends with benefits with him, get to know him, whatever it is, like I can still do that. I don't necessarily have to just like cut him off. But if I, if that's what ends up happening, that's what ends up happening. And God knows if, I don't even know if he's planning on talking to me again. But I was like, you know what? We don't need to like make the determination right now. Like, let's just kind of let it be. And I also tonight, in the midst of all that, planned another date with a different guy that's going to be happening on Tuesday. So I'm conflicted as if I'm going to do like end this weekend vlog and then do another vlog for this week. I think so. I know this probably was a little bit boring, so I apologize. Because I actually have a lot of stuff going on this week. I have that date. I have a few different workout classes I'm going to. I have a couple events I'm going to, or at least in my mind I'm going to. Hopefully I actually follow through. This should be interesting. So I think I'm going to do, and also so you guys can just kind of see like what is my day-to-day life like when I'm working, or when it's the work week, for my day job. And so I think I'm going to do a separate vlog for this week. But hopefully you enjoyed it. Definitely tell me if you do, or like things you would like to see, things you liked, things you didn't, and definitely subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, if you learned something, if you got value from it, if you just thought it was funny, if I put a smile on your face. And definitely make sure to come back, because there's going to be more vlogs. So thanks for watching.